G'day kids, make sure you hit the subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any of the new videos that come out. Until then, enjoy this one.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. Now this is going to be an awesome episode because we've come along to a place called Calmsley Hill City Farm and we're going to learn about, you guessed it, farmyard animals. We're going to get up close and personal and meet lots of furry, friendly, cuddly and woolly animals, and if we're lucky we might even learn how to milk a cow. This is going to be a cracker, kids, so come on, let's get inside and check it out. Kids. All right, so we've come along to the farmyard nursery and I'm meeting a nice gentleman here. What's your name?
My name's Ryan.
I'm Ozzie, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Ozzie.
Thanks so much for having us here.
All right.
Now, what animals can we learn about here today?
Well, would you like to come on in and we'll have a chat about them, eh?
Certainly would. Let's go, kids. So what have we got here, Ryan?
All right, so we've got a few goats and a few sheep in our nursery today. And there's a few things our goats can give us here on the farm. So we can use them for our milk. Usually we find milk from our cows, but can get milk from our goats.
Goat's milk,
okay.
Of course.
Yeah, perfect. You can make some cheese out of your goat's milk
Goat's cheese is good.
It's beautiful. And then we can also use some of our goats for wool as well, just like our sheep.
There's lots of different coloured goats I've noticed in here.
Yes.
Are they from different families? Are they different species? What's the difference between the white, then we've got a white and a bit of brown, then we've got a brown and black? And they've all got horns, is that right?
That's right. So goats can have horns, and it can be the boys and the girls that can have horns as well. And there's lots of different types of goats. So you can have lots of different breeds of goats. And some will have different colours, like we've got this white one down here. You can have ones with brown and speckled ears. And you can see some of them will have really long, floppy ears, whereas some of them will have really short ears as well. And
yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. Just a bit like us, we come in lots of different shapes and colours and sizes, and it's the same with all of our goats.
Okay, now notice this guy over here, he's got a little beard on his chin.
So this is Tumble here.
Tumble, hello Tumble. Now is Tumble a male goat?
Tumble is a girl goat actually.
Okay, so is that where the name Goaty comes from?
It may come from that little beard that they've got underneath their chin there.
Yeah, now goats, they're not reptiles.
No.
They're not. Are they mammals?
That's right, they are mammals.
They are mammals.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay, so there's quite a few goats in here. Is this where they live? Is this where they spend all their days?
Well, here on the farm, you know, they spend a fair bit of time in our nursery here. Keeps them nice and covered from all the rain and and the hot days. But they do get to go out into a paddock in the afternoon as well. So they get to roam in a whole paddock and they're going to graze on grass in the paddock. So they'll be eating on lots of that during the night. Sometimes they'll eat different leaves from different trees as well. So they like to eat lots of different things, goats. Yeah, they like to pick at lots of different things. But what we like to give them is things called chaff, and that's a little bit like dried grass, or you might know it as hay. We can give them some hay as well, and that's a bit of the same thing. It's dried so we can keep it for a really long time when we're ready to give it to them, so they'll feed on a bit of that during the day and then grass in the afternoon.
Fantastic. These aren't native to Australia, are they?
No. So we brought them into Australia so we can, use them for their milk, and some countries even use goats for meat as well. Yep. But there's definitely lots of goats in Australia.
Lots and lots of goats.
Lots of goats in Australia. So there's lots of them in the bush, lots of different farms in Australia as well. As our farm that we've got here.
Yeah, great.
So here we do have one of our sheep.
Hello. Now, is this a boy or a girl?
So this one's a boy sheep.
And how do we know that?
Well, with our sheep, it's only the boys that tend to get these horns here that we can see on top of this sheep's head here.
Okay.
It's really easy to tell them apart from the girls and the boys. Okay, and obviously with our sheep as well, we know that we can get lots of wool from them. So you can see all of this fur here. This is actually called wool. And just like our hair, it keeps growing. So we need to give them a haircut.
Yeah.
And we like to do that about once a year. So only get one haircut a year.
One
That's
haircut
it.
a year.
That is
That's pretty
it.
handy, isn't it?
I know, I wish I got a haircut once a year.
Be good, wouldn't it? Now, what's it called when you cut their hair?
So we call it shearing. So we shear their wool off. Yeah.
Okay. And
then-
so is this guy nearly ready to be?
Definitely, yeah. So for this sheep, it'll be his first ever haircut when it's time to get a haircut. So it's
Okay.
yeah, very, very soon. It's going to have the first shear ever.
And now what about the females over here?
So we've got a few girls over here as well. So we can see that they don't have any horns on them, and they're a little bit younger than Bart at the moment. So we can see not too much wool at the moment. So they've got to wait a little bit longer before they're ready for their haircut.
Okay. Now what do these guys and girls eat?
So just like our goats, they love to eat a bit of grass, and they get to go out into the paddock at the end of the day as well and feed on the grass out in the paddocks. A bit of chaff as well, so they like to munch on a bit of that chaff that we have for them as well. Yeah,
Cool.
They love that.
Now have they eaten today, or do you think that
They've eaten a little bit, but I think they might be a
Ozzie
little
could
bit
feed them
hungry.
something
I
else?
reckon you could feed them something. So hang there, and
This
I'm
is
going
exciting.
to grab you a bit of food. I bet they'll love a little bit of what we've got today.
Oh yeah, that looks tasty. Now who wants some food?
So
Don't all jump at once. What about you? You like some food? Oh yeah.
No,
Oh, we've got a goat coming in to say hi.
it's got Tumble.
Hello, Tumble.
Eating too quick, Tumble. We've got little Bart is going to have a little feed too.
Now I just noticed this one over here.
Yeah.
This one has no wool left. So has that been shorn recently?
Yeah, so actually yesterday this one got a bit of a haircut. So yeah, first ever haircut. And you've given her a little bit of a haircut. So when we give them a haircut, she's called a shorn sheep.
Shorn sheep. Just like the TV show, Shaun the Sheep.
That is right. So she's had a little bit of a name change after she's had a haircut. We call her Shauna.
Shauna. What was her name before?
Her name was Barbara.
Barbara. Now it's Shauna.
And now I
You
changed
guys
her
are pretty
into
clever with
Shauna.
the naming. That's awesome. Now, is she likely to be a lot colder without all that wool on her?
No, so at the moment she's pretty happy in the nursery here. So after they get a haircut, if it's a little bit cold, they get to stay inside for a little bit. G'day, mate. And then we wait till they get a little bit of wool. So maybe in about a week or two's time, she might get a nice thick layer of wool to keep her nice and warm.
Yeah, great. Once these sheep have been shorn,
Yeah.
what do we actually do with the wool?
Right, so once we take the wool off, here on the farm, we put it in these really big bags and we get to sell our wool. And then once it's sold, it might be turned into some thread. We might be able to turn it into some jumpers or beanies or scarves and
Okay.
lots of stuff to keep us nice and warm in winter.
Very,
Yeah.
very good stuff.
Yeah,
So these animals provide us with the wool to keep us warm in the winter.
that's right.
The goats provide us with the milk as well.
Yep.
Is there anything else that sheep give us?
So we can use our sheep for meat as well, but here on our farm we mainly use all of our sheep for all of their wool here. Yeah,
Very good. All right, so should we go and meet some of the older sheep that you've got here?
absolutely.
All right, let's
go.
kids.
So we've got some of our larger sheep here.
Okay, and how old are these sheep?
So we've got the girl over there that has the black fur. Okay, so she's now about 5 years old, and then this one over here is only 2 years old.
Wow,
Yeah.
there you go. Not much size difference really between 5 and 2 years.
No, well, they don't look too different, but I can tell you what, that other girl there is much, much heavier.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
bet. Now, I hear something behind us, Ryan. Now, can you explain to us what's
So
happening over here?
we've actually got one of our farmers cracking some whips.
Okay,
Yeah, so
that's cool.
do
Makes
you know
a
what
really
we-
loud noise. But what's a whip used for?
Well, it's actually used to move our cows around the farm.
Okay.
Yeah, so what we use them for is when we want to move our cows into a different paddock, so they've got some nice grassy, some lots of grass to eat. Okay, so Farmer Rob will crack his whip to move them in that direction. So they don't like the sound, but Farmer Rob would never use the whips to hit the
It doesn't
animals.
actually hit them, it's
No.
the sound that they respond
That's right,
to.
yeah.
So that trick looks like it's very difficult and Rob
He's
Needs a little bit more work on
It
that
does
one.
need a little bit more
Everyone needs
practice on
practice,
that
right?
trick. Yeah, so he's learning. It's called the double hospital, and
Yeah.
it's very
Sounds
hard to
dangerous.
do. Very tricky, but at least he's giving it a crack.
Absolutely, he's giving it a crack. I like it. Hey, you got jokes just like Ozzie. Very good. All right, we've seen some whip cracking.
We have.
What else can we see? We've got some more
Got
goats
Dolly
here.
and Baby here, a few more of our goats. All right, but we do have some larger animals just on the other side.
Awesome. All right, let's go and see some larger
All right.
animals.
All right, Ozzie, so we've got a few of our cows here today.
Ah, very good. Now, what kind of cows are these guys?
Well, these are two of our young dairy cows, all right? So an actual baby cow is called a calf.
Okay.
So they're actually still drinking from their mum at the moment.
Right.
But they're hanging out in our pen for this time of the day.
Very cool. How old would these calves be?
So these ones here, they're now about 5 months old.
5 months.
5 months, yeah. So
Okay.
nearly half a year old.
So these cows are dairy cows, so
That's
that
right.
means that they're bred for their milk.
That's correct, yes.
And you have other cows that you breed on the farm, is that right?
That's right, we do. Yeah, there's one just over here if you want to have a look at it.
Love to.
Yeah, perfect.
This is an impressive looking cow.
It is. Now, you might be thinking that this is a boy cow or a bull. all
It
right,
does
but
look like a bull to
It
me.
does, with
Yeah.
those big horns.
Yeah.
This is Sandy. Sandy's one of our girl cows, actually.
It's a girl cow.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
and where's Sandy from?
Sandy is from a place called Scotland.
Scotland.
Yes, that's right. So it gets pretty cold over there.
Yeah.
And you can tell she's from Scotland because she's got that really long fur. So
Okay.
we call them Scottish Highlanders. So
Okay.
they're found in the Highlands there. And because it gets so cold, they need that really thick fur to keep them nice and warm in those, really cold times of the year.
Yeah, right. Now, is this cow bred for meat or for dairy?
This one's bred for meat.
Okay.
So you can use these cows for meat here on the farm. And you can also use, we've got another cow but just behind us that was used for meat as well, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
The big grey one just
That's
here.
right. So this here is Delilah.
Hello, Delilah.
And Delilah's is a beautiful cow. Our Delilah is actually from India.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this type of cow is called a Brahmin. And known to be from India. They're a little bit like an animal called a camel. Have you heard of a camel before?
I have heard of a camel. A bit of
Yeah.
a hump on their back.
That's right. If you have a look at Delilah, she's also got a hump on her neck there, on her little shoulders.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so she stores a little bit of fat in there in case she doesn't find any food in her travels. If she's out in the wild, in the bush, she's got a bit of fat there to keep her going.
Very
But she does
interesting.
love a little bit of a scratch. And these types of cows are also used for meat as well.
Okay. Okay, so what kind of food would Delilah eat?
Well, Delilah would eat lots and lots of grass out in the paddock. So
Yep.
she likes that really nice, thick green grass that we have out in our paddocks. But she also eats the similar things to what our sheep and our goats eat. So all that chaff that,
Okay.
that you fed to some of our sheep earlier, they like to eat a little bit of that as well.
Yeah, great. Now, are all cows the same? They all just love grass?
Most cows, they do love to graze on nice, rich grass.
So that's what it's called when they're just out there munching in the,
Yep.
the green fields?
Yeah, we call them, the grazing on
Grazing.
the grass,
Yeah, great. And there's one more cow behind you,
There
I believe.
is, yes.
that,
We might say hello to this girl over here.
Now, what's this girl's name?
So this is Custard.
Custard. Now, that is a cool name. Is that because of the colour?
It does help with the colour, but also it's because she's really good at making something for us.
What does she make for us?
She makes us milk for us. So she's a
course.
dairy cow.
Of course. So, kids, you might think that milk comes from a bottle or a carton. Well, you're right, but where does it come first? It comes from the cow. So, am I right in saying that the cow produces the milk out of its udders?
That's right. So just near her back legs, we can almost see like a big bag, and that's called her udder, and that's where all the milk is right now. And then a little bit further down, okay, she almost looks like there's like a little finger down there. So that is called her teat. And
Okay.
if we wanted to milk her, we would have to squeeze her teat to get a bit of
Right.
that milk out. Yeah.
But with her calves, that's where they get the milk
That is
from
right.
as well.
Yeah. So those calves will drink from her, and that's where they're going to get the milk from.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, what other important facts can we find out about these beautiful cows? What else do they do for us in the paddock?
Well, not only do they help keep the grass down so not growing too much, okay, but we can actually use their poo, okay? We call this manure, and or we can use it as fertilizer. It actually helps the grass and helps our plants to grow nice and big and strong. So you might use it in your garden, in your backyard, help all of your trees to grow nice and big. So really important animal we have here.
Very important animal. Such an important part of farm culture and farm life, isn't
That's
it?
right, absolutely.
Yeah, great. Well, maybe, hopefully, Ozzie gets a chance to give it a milk later.
We'll see
One of the
how we
cows will milk.
go. We'll see, yeah, we might be able to get a cow for you to have a milk.
Awesome. So if we milk the cows,
Yeah.
how often do they get milked?
Usually about 2 times a day, sometimes 3 times a day
Wow.
if they're making lots of milk.
That's a lot of milk.
It is a lot of milk.
And so once the cow's been milked,
Yeah.
where does the milk then go?
Well, it has to go to a factory.
Okay.
And they make it, make sure it's safe for us to drink. So they do a few things to our milk, and then it might be put into some bottles for us, and then it'll end up in our stores. There's lots of things we can make out of our milk, okay? So from her name, custard.
Custard.
All right. And there's lots of other different things we can make out of milk, okay? We've got things like yogurt.
Yep.
All right, there's butter that you might spread on a bit of toast.
Of course.
Okay, cheese. I like a toasted cheese sandwich myself.
Oh, yum.
Okay, and you can also make a bit of ice cream.
Oh, don't we all love ice cream, kiddos?
It's one of my favourites.
So without the cow, without the beautiful dairy cow, we wouldn't have all those amazing foods. So
That's right.
very important.
They are, yeah. They help make lots and lots of yummy foods for us.
Awesome. Well, it's lovely to meet you, Custard. Ryan, should we go around the corner and see what
Sure.
other animals we
There's
can find?
another one just around here.
Awesome. So kids, I've just watched the Working Dog Show, and that dog out there, his name is Ace, and he is a very, very clever dog. He is an Australian Kelpie, and his job is to round those sheep up. So he's been trained to get all those sheep to do what he wants them to do. Pretty clever, isn't it? So what he's doing now is he's rounding them up, which means bringing them all in to where the farmer wants them. And they need their medicine today. So he's bringing them all into this special area here, and he's going to line them all up. Now, he's so clever that he can do the same amount of work as 4 humans on motorbikes. So he can round up the same amount of sheep as 4 grown adults riding motorbikes can do. One dog. Super clever, isn't it? And check him out. He'll just run around, back and forward, around behind those sheep, and they'll just follow everything that he wants them to do. And look at what he's done. He's managed to bring them inside this special area, and then the farmer will come in, open that gate, and then that dog will stay behind them and keep directing them where he wants them to go.
All right, Ozzie, would you like to know how to milk a cow?
I'd love to learn how to milk a cow, right?
Oh, perfect. Well, we've got custard here, and we're going to give milk custard today.
So this is our girl that we met earlier.
That's right, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so we know she's one of our dairy cows. So, yeah, you're going to learn how to milk one of our cows today.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Show us how it's done.
All right, so we need a stool to sit on. It comes in here. Before we milk our cows out, okay, we need to make sure we've got some nice clean hands. So,
Of course. I'll give him a wash.
give them a wash, dip them in there. Okay, I'll do the same. I've got my bowl here. All right, we don't want to put any germs onto our cows and make them sick, do we? So, all right, so we come over here, and just like before, remember this part? That's her udder.
Udder.
That's right, and then a little bit further down, we've got her teat. So that's what we have to squeeze to get the milk out. So
Okay.
how I milk the cows out, right? I like to make an L like this. And I just put my L and I squeeze at the top, and all I have to do is just slide down, like that.
Squeeze and slide.
Squeeze and slide. All right,
Looks pretty easy.
Do you want to give it a go?
Oh, I'd love to try.
Right.
Here goes, kids. L shape.
That's it. Up top. Just like a professional.
There you go, kids. So Ryan, how long would I have to do this for until custard is finished? How do we know?
Well, we'd keep going until we couldn't get any more milk, and I reckon that would take about 20 minutes to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
You'd get some tired fingers, wouldn't you?
You would, yeah.
So on the farms that have heaps and heaps of cows, dairy cows,
Yeah.
is this how they do it? Do they have lots and lots of farmers just sitting there milking cows like this a couple of times a day?
Maybe back in the day they would, a long time ago. But nowadays we've got a special machine that hops onto their teats and does the job for us.
Okay.
So we
that's
don't have to worry about it, and it takes it's a bit quicker than 20 minutes. So it might take me 5 or 10 minutes. Depends how much milk your cow has.
Yeah. So how much milk would we get out of a cow like custard?
Oh, well, like custard here, we could get about maybe 25 to 30 litres of milk in one day. So
Wow.
that's about maybe 2.5 to 3 of these buckets that we have here today.
Wow.
There's a lot of milk.
That's a lot of milk. That's a lot of bowls of cereal.
It is indeed.
A lot of hot chocolates. A lot of dairy products.
That's right.
I
I think
think
you've done a pretty good job today.
she's starting to get empty. Maybe not.
There's always a little bit more milk. But now that you've done one teat, you've got to do all of the others. So she's got 4 teats, okay? And you have to milk every single one.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow. That's a lot of milk.
It is. All right.
Well, that's been lots of
You
fun.
can see how much milk you've got today.
Okay, so we can't just go ahead and drink that right now, can we?
Definitely not. So what we have to do, once it goes to the factory, okay, they have to do something to make it safe for us to drink.
Okay.
So they might heat the milk up to kill off any bad bacteria, to get rid of any germs that might be inside the milk. So it's nice and safe for us to drink.
Okay.
All right, and after that, then usually it'll end up at our shops, okay? So maybe you might even do something else with it, okay? We might even put it through a really, really fine filter to stop all of the cream and the milk from separating.
Right.
So a long time ago, milk used to come in a glass bottle. You have to shake it up to make sure all the cream is in your milk. But nowadays, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, so you've got your full cream, you've got your light.
That's right.
You've got your skim, you've got everything else you need.
You've got, yeah.
Every kind of milk.
Every
under the sun
kind of
these
milk.
days, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's right.
Very good.
I reckon you've done a pretty good job today.
All right, well, thank you very much, Ryan. Now, we might leave Custard here. Thank you very much, Custard. And we'll go and check out some more animals, shall
Awesome.
we?
No worries.
Right, so what have we got here, Ryan?
So we've got one of our lovely pigs just over here.
Oh,
So
hello.
This is Ruby.
Hello, Ruby. Nice big yawn.
It's been a hard day for her.
So what does a day in the life of Ruby look like?
Well, when she's on display in one of our pens for majority of the day, she's having a bit of a snooze, relaxing in her pen. Afternoon, she gets to go out into one of our paddocks.
Okay.
And she spends the night out there, and then
Okay.
morning time comes, she's back in for breakfast.
Into her pen, or
That's right,
is
yeah,
it
into
also
her
called a
pen.
pigsty?
You can call it a pigsty, yeah, absolutely.
What do the pigs eat do they eat when they're out in the paddock?
Yeah. So they'll eat, they'll graze on a bit of grass, eat a bit
Okay.
of grass when they're out there actually. Sometimes we like to feed them a few different types of veggies, so
Okay.
they eat lots and lots of different things.
Do they?
Yeah.
They're not fussy at all.
They are not fussy. They're
Right.
happy to eat lots of different things. So lots of different veggies and fruits. Okay, yeah.
Great. And what do we farm pigs for? What do we use pig for?
Well, we can use pigs for meat.
Right.
So you can get bacon from your pigs.
Love bacon.
Yeah, I've had a ham sandwich before.
Good
where-
ham sandwiches, good for lunch.
It is. That's where your ham's coming from.
There you go.
Right. And things like maybe pork belly, okay, or maybe you had pork chops before.
Oh, yum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So well, that's so we're using them mainly for our meat on the farm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we've got quite a few pigs along here.
Yeah, we do. So Ruby's actually got a little piglet. She's not so little anymore, okay? But this is Jade over here.
Jade's having a snooze, or
Well, she's a bit of a chatterbox at the moment.
she's talking. Okay. Hi, Jade. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Jade and Ruby are girl pigs.
Okay.
We call our girls sows. And this, a sow, but
Okay.
this guy here, this is Andy.
G'day, Andy.
And Andy's our boy pig.
Okay. Very big.
He is very big. So our boy pigs are called boars.
Okay.
And usually the boys, they can grow pretty big tusks as well.
Right.
So sometimes you have to go to visit from the dentist.
Right.
So a special dentist comes over and trims his tusks.
tusk.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I've noticed that all three of these pigs we've seen so far are different colours.
They are.
Is that a different breed?
That's right. Yeah, you can get lots of different breeds of pigs, just like all of our other animals. And sometimes, they'll get some really big ones or some little ones, and lots of different colours as well.
Yeah, there you go. Nice to meet you, pigs.
Yeah.
Should we venture on, Ryan, and maybe meet some other animals? What about, have you got some chickens here?
There are some chickens. They're just down here.
Perfect.
So I reckon we should head off.
Let's do it.
All right, Ozzie, welcome to our chicken coop. We've got some turkeys here with us today.
Chickens and turkeys.
Chickens and turkeys.
Geez, they're big, these turkeys, aren't they?
Yeah, they're pretty decent size.
Yeah, gobble, gobble. So talk to me about chickens. What do we get from chickens that we use for food or
Well, you
else?
can use the chickens for their eggs.
Of course.
So they lay eggs for us, and we can have a bit of scrambled eggs, for breakfast.
Beautiful.
Egg on your burger. We can also use the chickens for meat as well.
For food, the actual chicken itself.
The actual chicken
Of course.
itself, yeah.
Chicken
that's-
drumsticks.
that's
chicken,
right.
Chicken thighs.
Yeah,
chicken breast.
A chicken breast, maybe
Yeah.
a roast chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Good, good. So when they lay the eggs,
Mm-hmm.
what's the farmer's job? They come in and grab the eggs, and then they get picked up and taken to the store. How does that work?
Yeah, so the farmer will come along and they'll collect the eggs. Sometimes a very, very big chicken coop where lots of chickens are laying eggs, and they'll
Yep.
collect those eggs, and then eventually they'll go to a special factory where they make sure they're nice and safe for us to eat. They're nice and clean as well after coming out of the chicken coop, and then eventually they come to us on the shelves ready to go.
Great.
Yeah.
So if
Lay
we're
lots.
lucky, we could maybe go into the chicken
Yeah,
pen
we
and
might
see if
go
we can find
inside.
an egg.
There could be some chicken eggs in there, but we'll see how our luck
All right,
goes.
let's go and
Yeah.
see
All right.
if we're lucky. Come
All
on,
right,
kids.
here we go. So, all right, so in here, this is our hen house.
Okay.
And this is where all the chickens kind of hang out at night time when it's a bit too cold outside.
Right.
And they like to roost up here. But they've also got their little boxes in here. They call them nest boxes.
Okay.
And this is usually where they'll lay some eggs. So
Right. So the hens are the female chickens,
that's right, yes.
right? And they'll come in here to these little hen houses.
Yep.
Or the hen house.
Yep.
And they will lay an egg in there.
And they'll lay their eggs in their little nest box.
Now I can actually see in the nest box over there, a couple of little eggs.
Oh, you can indeed, yeah. So we're pretty lucky today. So it looks like some of our hens have left some eggs in there for us to
Fantastic.
have a look at.
Brilliant. All right, so do you mind if I just reach in and grab one of those?
Yeah, have a look.
All right, so that has been laid today,
Yes.
and we are good to, if we wanted to take that right now and crack it and eat it,
yeah.
can we do that?
Well, as long as we wash that egg and we know that there's no chicken side there, then yeah, you could crack it into a pan and have some eggs.
Fantastic. But
Absolutely.
generally, that would go to a factory
Yes.
and then go to the shop, and then
Yeah.
we would buy that from
That's
the shop.
right. So
Isn't
that's where we get to see our eggs. So
Yeah.
first it's got to go to that factory, and then it's got to go to the shop, and then that's where we get our nice big carton of eggs.
it? Awesome. I'm just going to pop that back in there. Ryan, what do the chickens actually eat?
Well, lots of different things. So they like to eat a few seeds and grains and things like that. But they also like to tuck into some vegetables and maybe a sneaky worm if they find one.
Wow.
Yeah, so a few bugs here and there.
So a worm is a treat, is it?
A worm is a treat, so not always around, but if they find one, they're definitely going to
Happy to tuck into that, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
Very good. So we know that the female chicken is called a hen.
Yes.
What's the male chicken called?
Rooster.
A rooster.
That's right.
Have we got any roosters around here?
Well, looks like our roosters are hanging all outside at the moment. So we
Okay.
are in the hen house, so most of the hens are hanging out here.
Fair enough.
But there should be some roosters that we can have a look at outside if you
Okay.
like.
So this guy over here is a rooster.
That's right, he is, yeah.
Awesome. So how do we know the difference between a rooster and a hen?
Well, there's a few ways to tell. There's definitely a pretty big red thing on top of their head. So we
certainly
call
is.
that a comb. And then right underneath the beak there's something called a wattle, and it hangs a little bit down
wattle?
there. A wattle.
And a comb.
And a comb, that's right, yeah. And then we can look at this rooster. He's got some nice big green tail feathers
Yeah.
as well.
He's a good looking rooster.
He is a good looking rooster. You're not wrong. All right, and then there's one other way to tell if he's a rooster. Maybe bright and early in the morning as the sun rises. They love to make that big old cockle-doodle-doo sound.
They do.
They do. So very, very vocal.
Thanks for showing me the roosters and the hens.
No worries. I reckon we will head out and see one more animal, hey?
One more animal, let's do it.
All right,
Okay.
Ozzie.
Horses.
Yeah, so we've got this beautiful girl here. This here is Janie.
Janie, what a beautiful looking horse. What kind of horse is Janie?
So we call Janie a Clydesdale.
Okay.
And
Beautiful.
what they're really, really good for is pulling really heavy carriages and
Okay.
things like that. So your horse and carriage, that's what our Clydesdales are really good for.
They're very, very beautiful looking animal.
Yes.
And you've got other horses here on the farm?
Yeah, we do. We have some Australian stock horses.
Okay.
Really good to help us move our cows. So we're riding our horses around.
Right.
All right, and maybe cracking your whip on your horse and
Okay.
helping to move all of those cows into a different paddock and
Right.
guiding them in the right way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're a working animal on
Yes,
the farm.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because we don't use horses for meat or for produce.
No.
They're purely a working animal for the
That's
farm.
right.
Help
So
the
they
farmers
help
out.
us out. Yeah,
Yep.
they work on the farm and help us to to do our job and make our jobs a little bit easier.
Yeah, great. So what kind of food do horses eat?
They love to graze on the grass throughout the day, so they'll be grazing on grass in the paddocks. But we also like to feed them things like grains and oats, as well as lots of that chaff, so that really dried grass as well.
Okay.
Mix it all together, and that's the type of stuff she'll get in the mornings, and then she'll come out in the afternoon and she'll be grazing out in the paddocks.
Great stuff. Okay, so Janie's a very beautiful animal.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Clydesdale's really, really big horse. You can see they have really big legs and big hooves, all right, to help us to get around. All right, she's also, the hair on the top of her head up here, we call this her mane. So she's got a nice big mane and a nice big tail as well. So in Clydesdales, they tend to get really, really long as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right, you're beautiful.
So Janie here is 6 years old. So yeah, she's still quite young.
All right, well, we've certainly seen lots and lots of animals today. You've been a wealth of information. You've taught me a lot, and hopefully the kids at home have learned a lot as well. So thank you so much, Ryan, for having us here at Calmsley Hill City Farm.
Yes.
Kids, if you want to come along to Calmsley Hill City Farm, it's definitely the place to be to learn about all these animals, get up close and personal, see where the food comes from and the important role that farms play in our culture. Thank you again.
You're welcome. No worries.
Kids, hope you've learnt lots, hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you again on the next episode. Until then, stay keen. Hey kids, did you have lots of fun today watching Ozzie? I hope so. Did you know that we've got a heap of Ozzie episodes on our YouTube channel? If you haven't already, go back and have a scroll through. I reckon you'll find some others that you absolutely love. And while you're there, why don't you hit subscribe? That way you won't miss out on any of our new videos that we bring out. We'll see you again soon, kids. Until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Ozzie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of